Hello all, welcome to 100bytes.com, and this is the 7th video in our Weblogic series. In this video we are going to see what is authentication providers, what is default authentication provider, and what is embedded LDAP in Weblogic. First, what is authentication provider? In foremost, what is authentication? As everyone knows that authentication means proving someone has proves that who are. Foremost, what is authentication? Authentication means proving that who are you to a system. So WebLogic also takes care of the authentication. What is authentication provider? As you know that WebLogic is an enterprise class server and will be used in the big corporates or in the big enterprises. And in the big enterprises, it is not possible to store the users and groups of the users and groups in a single system or in a single LDAP or in a single database, or it cannot be used instead of stored in the WebLogic. There will be like millions of users which will be stored in different systems. Whenever a company start using WebLogic and they can't migrate those users to the WebLogic or something else. So for that, WebLogic has provided a mechanism called authentication provider, giving the credentials to authenticate the WebLogic to your system to access the users and groups from your system. Here, the system is either LDAP or database or any other thing mechanism where which we store users and groups, or even you can write your own custom authentication provider. We will see all those what is LDAP authentication provider, database authentication providers in the forthcoming videos. So in this video we are going to see what is authentication provider. In this video we are going to see what is default authentication provider and what is embedded LDAP. So once you provided the credentials for your systems where your users and groups are stored, WebLogic will use those details to access your systems. So whenever a user try to log into the WebLogic console or the application which is deployed in the WebLogic, let's say like 100 bytes user, so WebLogic sends the user and the credentials to the systems which is configured in authentication provider for authentication. And once the system authenticates, then whether it is pass, permit or deny, the result will come to the WebLogic, and depending upon the policies or roles defined in the WebLogic, the authentication will be go on. For this, you need to have a WebLogic server key running. So I have already installed a WebLogic server and it is running in my machine, and and I just logged in. So once you logged in, you'll find in the top, the down, there is a one called security realms. Okay, you have to click that. So in that there is by default there's one my realm will be configured. So I'm using the my realm. You can create more than one realm. So I'm clicking into my realm. Okay, in the realm you'll find a lot of options like users, groups, roles and policies, mappings, providers and all. So we will see all those things in a future videos. So for now we will going to see the two tabs like users and groups and providers. Okay, in providers also there is only one tab called authentication. Okay, so in the authentication tab you'll find authenticators. This is the default authenticator will be configured by default when you install the WebLogic. So you need at least one authenticator to authenticate your user. Okay, so let's see what is the what are the things inside the default authenticator. So the name is says default authenticator. Okay, and the version, what is the version, and the control flag, this is a JAS control flag. And there are this is four things like required, requested, sufficient, optional. And what is the significance of this flag, we can see it in the future videos. Okay, so there is a provider specific is there. This is provider specific for the default authenticator. So depending upon your company policy you can change it, like what's the password length, how to retrieve your username, or whatever you want you can do it. So if you do any changes you need to save it. If you save this thing and you need to restart your server. Okay, so in this case we are not going to change anything. So let's go to the providers thing. So you have default authenticator. Okay, and there is one more tab called users and groups. So in the users and groups you can see that two things like two users, and the groups you'll see the few groups actually. Okay, so you might be wondering like how these users and all will be retrieved or where it gets stored. That's where that's embedded LDAP comes into. Each WebLogic server comes by default with an embedded LDAP. The WebLogic server uses an LDAP to store the users, groups, and some of the roles and policies. So we can see how to view the content of that embedded LDAP using JExplorer. Okay, so first of all, before accessing that, you need to change the password of the embedded LDAP. So in this case, how to change, like just go to the base domain, and you will see security and embedded LDAP. Okay, so here you need to change the credentials. If you already know the credentials, then you can use it, otherwise you can change the credential from this tab. So once you changed it, you have to save it and restart it. Okay, yeah, now the your embedded LDAP will be once your server is restarted, embedded LDAP will be running. Okay, and let's see how to access these users, view these users groups and all in the JExplorer. So I have already installed a JExplorer. JExplorer is an open source LDAP browser. You can download it from the net. And so once you download it, and you have to install and uninstall, so you'll find a one connect button here. So just connect it. Okay. So and you have to give your details for your embedded LDAP. In my case, like my web browser runs in a local host, and this is the port is like port of your server, admin server. Basically if it is 7001, and if you are configured for SSL, you have to choose 7002. And in our case, we are going to configure the username and password. Cn equal to admin is a constant in this constant, and the password is whatever I have used. Okay, I'm just clicking OK. And once you click OK, so in this side panel you will get listed. Yes, it gets listed. So we will explore that one. So here our base domain. So it'll give the name of your domain and my realm. So in our case, if you have more than one realm, it will be listed there. And groups, yeah, these are the groups we have seen in the WebLogic console, and people, Oracle system user, WebLogic, and similarly authorization and roles will be listed in this. Okay, first let's see like how to we create the users and groups, and we can try to see that here. So I'm going to security realms and my realm, users and groups. I'm going to create a new user. So here my user is 100 bytes user, 100 bytes admin. Okay, and this is authenticators. Like if you have configured more than one provider, then the providers will be listed. For example, if you configure a DBMS provider, and the DBMS provider will be listed down, and the password will be whatever the password you want to. So it needs a 8 character minimum length. So I'm giving it. So I created a new user. Okay, and let's create one more group here. So 100 bytes, sorry, 100 bytes admin group. Okay, and similarly whatever the provider you want, I click the providers. Okay, so now we have created the user and group. So we need now we want to add the user to the group. So just click the user which is created and go to the groups, and even there is an option to change the password if it is required. So in our case, we just need to change the groups. So we want to be part of this 100 bytes admin group. So say this guy, yeah. Now go to the groups again. So like we have the, let's assume an use case, whoever the part of the 100 bytes admin group have to log into the WebLogic console. So logging into this WebLogic administration console, you need an you need to be a part of an administrator group. So this is the group where this administrator is there. Let's see how to add a how to make this 100 bytes admin group as a part of an administrator group. For this, just click the 100 bytes admin group and the membership. So you add this administrator, okay, and save it. Now what we have created is we created a one user, 100 bytes user and 100 bytes admin group, and 100 bytes admin user is a part of 100 bytes admin group. In turn, 100 bytes admin group is a part of an administrator. I'm connecting again to the embedded LDAP. So we just created a one user, one group, and we configured the membership. So in this my realm, so groups, yeah, we'll see 100 bytes admin group, and the people will be 100 bytes admin. So we have, there is a group membership as well. So for 100 bytes admin, yeah, he is a member of 100 bytes admin group, and the 100 bytes admin group should be a member of an administrator, but you can't see the group membership in group 100 bytes admin group, but you can able to see that in administrators. Yeah, who are the unique members? This is 100 bytes admin group. Okay, so yeah, just now we have configured this. Let's try to access this admin console using this 100 bytes admin. So success, so you can see like it is logged in as a 100 bytes admin. So he can do whatever the WebLogic user can do, as he is a part of an administrator group. Let's see how to create one more default authenticator. So go to security realms, my realm, providers, and click new. That's it about the basics of authentication provided in the WebLogic, default authenticator and embedded LDAP. And in the next video we can see what is LDAP authenticator. There are a list of videos in the screen, so if you want, you can, if you wish, you can go and watch it. So for more tutorials, please visit 100bytes.com. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.